Oh hi there big boys, and welcome to my review of Story of a Gladiator for Nintendo Switch. Don't know why it's called Story of a Gladiator, because there isn't much of a story. Ha ha ha, best pun I have ever made. Regardless, it's an alright game. It's pretty simple sort of fighter, brawler, that sort of thing, but it's got a cool aesthetic of being a gladiator and going to three different worlds. Well, I say worlds, not really. There's sort of different style arenas with different enemies, and to be fair, there's quite a good amount of enemies with all different sort of attacks and stuff. And slowly upgrading your character and getting stronger and stronger. And I do like how when you actually upgrade your character does actually look fundamentally different. Don't know why you want fundamentally there, 'cause it doesn't need to be used, but that's fine. Yeah, it's quite good. I actually quite enjoyed the game. I mean, it's incredibly repetitive. It's very, as in, the game doesn't really change from the first hour to the, well, it took me about 3 hours to beat the game, to be honest, which isn't a lot, but yeah, from the first hour to the third hour, you get better skills. You get like a skill tree. Well, not really tree, it's more like a skill, I don't know, block, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, some of the skills are pretty interesting, like letting you do kicks and decapitations and stuff, but a lot of them are just, oh, you do slightly more damage from behind, or oh, now your attack speed's slightly faster, which to be honest is actually some of the best skills are normally the passive ones in this game for some reason, but yeah, a bit odd. But you know, there's still that, and there's also upgrading your weapons and your armors and your shield, and there's also stuff like buying a pet, and, well, not really a pet, more like an animal, not really a pet, pet's the wrong word, a big scary animal, and stuff like that, which I quite enjoyed. It was always something to be striving for, always something to be aiming for, which is good. And there's also difficulty settings, which I do enjoy, because I can guarantee this game is difficult enough on easy as it is. Well, not really difficult. The problem is, right, with the combat, is it's hard to tell if you're actually going to hit someone or not. Even if you're right up next to them, the Z axis can be slightly off, which means you don't actually hit them, which is annoying and a bit of a problem with these 2D games tend to have, these 2D sort of fighter games. And there isn't really a way to fix that other than increasing the Z axis, which then causes the same problem, because then it's too strong, and then that's, yeah, so it's a bit of a difficult thing. But unfortunately this game doesn't really, I think it could be increased a little bit on that side, and yeah, it's a bit of a problem. But the art's not too bad, pretty nice animations, and as I say, because you all get different, there's a load of different stuff to be finding, you get loads of different upgrades and stuff, which all makes you look different, and you get a bit of customizability of your character, which is kinda cool. Not exactly a lot, but there's a bit there. Yeah, and it's very grindy, to be honest. This is the problem. If you're playing on a higher difficulty, it's gonna be even more grindy, because you're just gonna be. If you find the game too hard, you basically just grind the old levels until you're strong enough to do the new levels without much effort, which isn't really a lot of fun. Which is why I recommend easy mode, or at least normal. I wouldn't do hard. It's just the game isn't designed for it. And to be honest, the game's really easy if you upgrade the more damage from behind one, and then just like dodge. You just dodge past the enemy, hit them from the back. You can almost one-shot basically every enemy if you do that, which is a bit odd. And yeah, what else is there to talk about? Yeah, this was it. This was a big problem. You can get stun locked incredibly easily. If an enemy decides to attack you and another enemy decides to attack you at the same time, you're basically dead. Even if you've got loads of health, you'll get stun locked, and there's no chance of you coming back from it. So that's a big problem. Really, really big problem, to be honest. And yeah, that's a main one. What else is there? Yeah, that is pretty much it, I think. Art, progression, yeah. That's it. As I say, I think it's a fun game, but it's definitely one to play in small doses. And I think it works well on the Switch because of that fact, and it runs pretty well. It was a few bits of low frame rate and slow down towards the end when there's loads of enemies, and there are points where there's loads and loads of enemies, which is pretty cool. But I would play a sequel of this game if they could increase the sort of combat complexity and make the game more sort of open rather than just a wave fighter thing. Then I think they could have something special here. You know, it's quite fun. I quite enjoyed it. So yeah, that was Story of a Gladiator. Thanks for watching, big boys. It's an important time, and bye.